I am so pleased to hear the MSU that's playing for the losers bracket round 3 of the XD Hunt tournament. We have losers bracket round 3 from Leaf versus Telethar. I have Jem here with me on commentary, one of the admins of this tournament. Jem, how's it going?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to commentate this match with you.
Yeah, big shout out to Dante, by the way. I was gonna say, certainly very active streamer. Yeah, I know Dancy's feeling a little bit under the weather, but still, he has powered through to be able to showcase this losers bracket round 3 elimination match between Leaf and Telethar. And we're kind of already going. Leaf has already found a Palace Shuffled Ice Palace here in Kakariko Fortune Teller. Kakariko. Lake Hylia Fortune Teller. You don't want to get your fortune told there. It may look very bleak and cold, although potentially on topic for the festivities of the end of the year. Some people like it when it's cold.
This is perfect.
Yeah, although it looks like did Telethar start at Sync? I think I also didn't notice.
Yeah,
I assume he did. Okay, yeah, yes. Which is
Sync wasn't Sync.
Why... Oh, okay. Well, it does explain why maybe he's in like the lumberjack area.
Yeah, it must have been. Okay, we already found the bottom of Spec Rock. Well, Telethar found the peak of it, so we know we don't have to follow it.
Perfect.
We know.
Yeah,
they don't know yet.
Yes, that's true.
Leave
yes.
knows, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's kind of nice to be able to find some of the early connectors. I will say maybe like early game, maybe it's a little bit nice. Ooh, nice. Okay. Speaking of nice, we have a bow on Leaf's side here in Kingston. I was gonna say, yeah, and very fitting. Sometimes this might just be a touch more available in terms of just timing that you have to. Right now, you're just kind of on the location and discovery phase of the seed, so you're really kind of in the whole tracking, clicking the icons on the tracker, thinking about this is like where you kind of want to go. Once you start getting a lot more items, maybe a lot more, let's say like mobility, you have a lot more options. You're just like, I kind of want to just think about what I want to do, not necessarily go find new things out, new discoveries per se, right? So always kind of able to see, maybe if we can start seeing some early connectors. And of course, depending on which connectors you end up seeing, you could end up taking them as well. I certainly have seen the C connector, do connector type of mentality for these types of seeds. By the way, we also learned, I was gonna say, so we also learned from the previous XD Hunt tournament race that happened between Humbug and TT Chaos that if if Ganon is behind Lumberjack and Aga Tower, you in fact not only need the 4 Castle Tower keys, which usually is your go mode for many key sanity or key drop seeds, you will also need the boost. It's a very great reminder for these types of for these ice sides. I'm sorry, Humbug. Everyone forgot. Okay, everybody forgot.
I don't know. All of chat went like and then Humbug still kept going and skipped chest and Castle Tower.
He didn't bonk the tree though. He realized before we got there.
He's a real winner. He got to the screen but then turned around.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, but also turns out you can probably almost shake storage even if Amos is in the light vault, because you don't catch a crystal in this mode, you catch a Triforce piece. So very likely, like we are not sure, but very likely you should be able to almost shake storage.
Okay, all right.
Usually.
I believe though Lumberjack is not going to be something that we're going to go after today. Because I think I didn't see it with Ganon back there. I unfortunately missed what actually wasn't Telethar side, but probably will have to happen in another opportunity.
Plus was titled, I think, or something.
Okay, well then yeah, you're right. Then we don't care. We're getting some different explorations for looks like south of CAC, somewhat kind of converging. With Sank start at Sank and Link's house, always at Link's house. Inevitably, I think people are just going to kind of verge to Kakariko. Unfortunately for Leaf, we found Hype Cave at the Smith house. However, unfortunately, we do not have any bombs versus Telethar. He's going to come in with 7 bombs to his name. I'm going to get the back of it.
Telethar came from the north and found the Red Hut, or like the Bombable Hut in CAC, which has 4 bombs for him. So he has bombs. Leaf went like east and found a connector to the south of CAG to raise game left.
Yeah.
And yeah, no bombs so far.
Bombs and no arrows for what it's worth either. On Leaf side, we have the bow from Saha entrance, right? Which was, I believe, Bonk Rocks. And oh, never mind. We have some arrows. Okay, that is going to be at least a weapon of sorts.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice. If you find like mini Modern, telethar would have to use bombs and use up like most of them. He knows where to get more with the bombable hut, but it's still a time investment. Whereas Leaf could just shoot them.
Are you saying the bow mini Moldorm is easier than bomb mini Moldorm?
Yes.
Okay, can someone please note that? I want to see this in action. Okay, you know what? Speaking of mini Moldorms, oh my gosh. Well, okay, they also drop arrows. Either that or small variety.
Yeah, you want to get below them, but yeah, if they camp the bottom, then you're kind of in trouble, like in this one.
Perfect. It is in the arrow group, so somewhat free ammunition, which is quite timely. Now let's see what's in here at the back of Blindside and of course, ooh, really good reward though. Mini Moldorm came with the sword. We saw how many?
I mean, telethar has plenty of bombs. He'll be fine too. He also
has a hammer.
You really don't want to use a hammer.
You should have a tier list of weapons to beat Mini Moldorm and see. I would like to see where all the different things rank. Bow Mini Moldorm, bomb Mini Moldorm, hammer Mini Moldorm. I think that one actually might be the lowest.
Yeah. S tier is definitely Ether and the sword. Yeah, like Ari said. It's generally going to be your fastest option every time, and it's also so free.
I guess that also takes the most amount of things we need to get. We need magic, we need the ether medallion, and we need a sword, right?
Yeah. Yes, the gold bee is also.
Oh,
a different kind of
the gold bee, or a regular bee. Telethar, the bee whisperer, very apt by the way for having this MSU from Boblin. There is a clip of him releasing a regular bee in Mini Moldorm, and somehow he manages to kill all 4. I don't know how he did it.
I still maintain my stance that telethar has a hacked cartridge that just extends the bee timer. That's all he hacked. But he's not playing fair.
The health is somewhat of an underrated resource here in Mini Moldorm, especially with the hammer, because you can't. I mean, hammer is somewhat unreliable to seeing telethar trying to kill them. I mean, he was somewhat successful. Yeah, what, 50% success rate or something. But having extra health lets you make more attempts, right? Is because Leaf was still on half a heart throughout, right? So Leaf was definitely much more cautious. They were much more cautious about everything.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that they were on half a heart, but it makes it even scarier because mini Moldorms can sometimes just kill you. Hammer's bad for mini Moldorms, but if you have health to spare, you can usually like get hit and then like walk into them and hammer them, and then you can at least kill one for a heart.
Telethar almost got snitched on. I didn't know you could be that close and not have the maiden look at you and yell for a guard. But here we are. Maybe this is all his secret strats that he's just bringing out for Kakariko. It's a dangerous location. I don't think people realize this place. It could be quite dangerous. People died, maybe in the well, and Blindside. Just saying. These are potentially death traps that you could be in trouble for.
Yeah. I wonder if anybody's ever died too. Like a guard the snitch summoned. That would be pretty funny.
That would be so hilarious, but also you probably don't want that to happen in your race. It's kind of like watching a drama from afar, right? You get your popcorn out and you're like, hey, that's hilarious, but then you don't obviously want it to happen to you, right?
Yeah, this is a very nice flute that you find was still in CAG. You just can bomb shop overactivate it, and you have very comfy traveling.
Early flute. Yeah, I know that a lot of people certainly value the flute very highly, and there's a good reason for it. It's maybe not like a completely, let's say, like OP, like you need to have something like this, but yes, especially early flute, this early, and as you said, being able to activate Kakariko super conveniently, it's you'll be able to get to a lot of different places. And plus, right now, our Sank Star is, as you mentioned, it's a Sank, and Link Stars is always going to be vanilla in this mode. There's not really like a good anchor to Kakariko, so we'll be able to just have a Flute Spot 3. Or sorry, Flute Spot 3 is super convenient.
Yeah, sometimes you can get like the old man spawn there, but we haven't found him in Kak at all, so looks like this flute is going to be very appreciated for all our Kakariko needs.
Yeah,
we found uncharacteristically few connectors in Kak. We only found Hyrule Castle and Paradox. So it's not, we might not have to come back that often, but even then, it's still nice. Because we do have, like both of those connectors have 2 exits they connect to, so it's quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's part of also being able to discover what's on the other side of the connector is you don't really have the resource other than just to go follow it and see where it lands you. Of course, there is especially some danger this early. On the one hand, if you get spit out Dark World, hey, you have found a Dark World connector, which is always very valuable. On the other hand, you get to another part in maybe Light World that you couldn't go back into, like a bomb lock, a rock lock location, boots lock location. It could be pearl lock location in Dark World, right? And yeah, so it can be a little bit dangerous. But having the flute at least in Light World, it certainly can subsidize that risk a little bit, because you get locked out, you just flute. Worst case, back to Kak, and you can start over, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so convenient. Also, if you find like connectors at like Ice Road Cave or whatever, where it's hard to get back to too. Also very nice to find. I do have the flute for that.
Yeah. Also, one nice thing about the flute, anyway, it does actually potentially unlock logically the mountain, which you see both sides of the mountain. Follow connector over to get to East Step Mountain, and the telethar use the flute to float up to West Step Mountain.
Yeah, what did they take? Did they follow Paradox or something?
Yes, they follow Paradox north, I want to say. Paradox south. Telethar, by the way, is finding Laser Bridge. We found Jisabiki and a Pearl. My Pearless dream has already been shattered. 11 minutes in.
It's okay. We can still do Virilus.
True, we can do a lot of things potentially. Maybe go for Fire Rod less.
Yep.
Oh no! Right. This is also one of the dangers.
You don't want to go up here without a lamp on half a heart. That's just the death sentence.
I think it's a valiant attempt. Right, we're here. You're already kind of halfway through. If you survive, you get the chest. Great. If you don't, you come back for it. We'll just still get our glove a little bit earlier than if we were to go get that second chest.
That's fair.
Actually, so between Leaf and Telethar, we have regular Dark World access, correct? We have a glove.
Oh yeah, you're right.
From the other side, from this side of the mountain on Leaf side, we have the hammer that both of them have, I believe from Cackwell, and the pearl on Telethar side, went from Laser Bridge.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Leaf will just get that sooner than later. The pearl with it, because if they have the suit, they will probably at some point just shoot there because you kind of want the old man spawn anyway. I also would need to take a connector, like the Paradox, to get the East of Mountain for now. And that's probably a bit further in the future.
It's one of those times where you're also going through seeing dark rooms that both Leaf and Telethar are doing. Makes you kind of wonder where that lamp is.
Yeah,
the hilarious.
Nice to find out.
Yeah, the hilarious location last time for Humbug versus TT Chaos was the lamp was the first chest to Castle Tower, and that was basically their going point. Which, you know, it can happen. Yeah. So far, the lamp, the lamp mainly is probably a very nice, helpful thing, one for logic, but also two for fire source. Yeah. And especially for such low health, if we want to do, I would say, potentially more dangerous situations, Dark Cross would be probably a common occurrence when, yeah, I mean, I understand we have swords now, so maybe not as big deal, but if you're coming from Dark World, especially to go to Dark Cross, you would really appreciate some sort of vision, tunneled or not, yeah, to be able to get back there.
Well, we found the Eastern from 60. That's yeah. Impossible and had the hammer the first time we found the Mickey.
Alright, this guy's unstoppable, you know?
Yeah. Actually crazy.
Yeah, we're suddenly pretty close. Actually, between, again, Leaf and Telethar, we have found Ganon at the Uncle Drop. Okay, so very, very convenient to go back to Ganon for. Yeah, I was gonna say, with Leaf's bow and with Telethar's big key to Eastern, and of course they both have a small key to Eastern from Myershed earlier, that once they find Eastern, they are going to be able to get 8 out of 9 checks. The big key chest requires another small key, and of course, logically speaking, you need both keys to beat the dungeon, but I mean, forget that chest. People skip it off enough in regular key sanity. I mean, it's very uncommonly checked.
There's one saving grace for the Eastern Dickies also. If you have Soul Shot, you can do the MSS step and
true.
Get it from the back. You bring your small key, and at that point it becomes cool and fun together.
That is true. We can show off some
sort of motivation. Yeah. I was heading back to the mountain. Wait, he's taking the skull was connected now.
By the way, really nice
item here. The biggie chest.
Right. We do not have the red cane. We in fact only have the blue cane. So not quite the easiest room in the game, especially coming from the left side, but Telethar is showing that it can in fact be quite easy. Okay, Leaf with their glove, going to back of escape. A lot of really nice small keys are showing up.
You definitely have a collection. Yeah, I guess the Eastern small key is like the really nice one because you can just clear it. Well, assuming Leaf gets this Eastern Dickie too.
Yeah, and don't necessarily be, let's say, confused necessarily by the tracker that has the prizes right now, right? Because this is XT Hunt, the prizes are shuffled within the item pool itself. Part of the reason is that the motivation is that now when you go and approach a boss, let's say especially for, let's say, Desert Back, for Landlos, usually speaking then, you have more motivation or incentive to go back and kill the boss because now the boss has room to drop an item, and of course the Triforce Beast itself. So, and 5-6 crystals still unlock Pyramid Fairy. If you pick up the pendants that we saw them both do for the blue pendant in Myershed earlier, that still unlocks the pedestal. So they're all there. They're just not quite on the boss themselves.
Yeah, they're basically just annoying fat quests now, but I mean, there's always room for more. Switch that nowadays.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you also mentioned Telethar.
Fun memory. Like there was one to see where you had to find your 4 crystals to get into VT to get your last pendant out of it.
I remember that. Oh, it's really great. Oh yeah, by the way, yeah. Yeah, JT, that's right. In this mode, also takes 4 crystals to open, so getting to 4 crystals may not necessarily be that too big of a task, although it's not quite as set as I'm gonna go beat 4 bosses type of thing. You could see, I forgot who already was it. I think Telethar maybe picked up a regular crystal somewhere, just kind of laying around. Yeah, I'm finding actually a lot of dungeons / Skull Woods.
Yeah, we
already
back. Yeah,
did you know?
The Goat section took us to the Scouts area, and then we dropped into the front section because the front 2 drops are vanilla, and that's better for the pyramid. And then this cave south of Port, the Lake Hylia Ferry cave, at the Scouts Back. So they're all just a nice chain from the mountain that you can take.
It's so nice to have Zelda Woods, coin to be Zelda Woods. It is initially, I think, when the doors randomizer branch was first being somewhat, let's say, like developed. That was actually another option that you can actually shuffle Skull Woods different ways. And Aranon was the one who initially kind of developed some of the other options to kind of shuffle Skull Woods, within the pool itself. Zelga was the person who I think was probably one of the more prominent people trying to push for Zelga Woods, and it has really made this version of the shuffling extremely much more interesting. Now you have, as you mentioned, kind of 2 more drop downs. You have more connections to be able to take to, let's say, like the back of Skull Woods, all of Skull Woods, front section and second section, mid section are separated. So you just have so many more options to get around.
Yeah, it just adds a lot of complexity to both. Yeah, it goes through the different connector and it makes the Skull Woods area more interesting. And yeah, I think it's just about more fun and complex to have it this way.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely really is. This Blue Cane really paying off for telethar. An invincibility item early on is very nice, and especially for key drop, when the pots and the enemies that normally have a small key to this dungeon, when they can also drop items. And I'm kind of looking at the equipment. They do have swords, so at least that is something. But if you're coming here early, you stumble upon your connectors early, and you need to go kill Poke too. And cross keys. When you kind of stumble upon this, maybe you have a random TR key somewhere. Maybe we just don't have to touch that Poke key. Right? You just open the lava chest door and be done with it. And this one, you really, really don't want to leave that one behind.
Yeah.
We see? Okay. Classic key drop. A small key in this dungeon. Sounds related to bridge.
Okay, sounds related to bridge. Correct. Okay, so Leaf is picking up their Eastern big key now. They have everything they need to play Eastern. Telethar found Eastern at the Port Hint Hut. Did not have the bow yet, which ironically is like in the same area just in the light bulb.
Right, yeah, that's right. And if only we had a mirror. Unfortunately, Telethar has found his way over to the Dark World in the pod area. So, and of course, with the hammer and everything like that, he has full access to whatever he kind of wants to do. Plus, coupled with the flute, with the early Pearl and early regular Dark World access, we have many options for us to do. Now, that being said, though, that having so many more options now, especially in Dark World, may somewhat deter him from maybe going to Zaha, or maybe he wants to try and do his other priorities. We'll have to see what ends up happening. But Leaf has found GT with 4 GT small keys. No hook shot, but we do have the hammer, which is the hard gate to... Do you see that nice mirror on GT Torch? Also, good reminder, while these guys are dashing, remember the boots are blue from the trackers, not red. There are so many times where I have just seen people bonk the torch because they really want the item, and unfortunately, we cannot obtain the item quite yet.
You really want that item?
Mm-hmm.
Why does it work, please? Yep, you can also not bonk over 2-tile gaps. The boots, at least was demonstrated.
That's right. The bonk looks a little awkward, granted, but it is definitely much smaller than the regular, was it 3-tile bonk or something like that? For regular boots?
Regular is 2. You can bonk over
regular is 2. Okay. Yeah.
And 2 you can bonk over 1-tile gap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so actually, if you notice, any of these bonking with your silver boots, it looks like a normal bonk now, because Codeman updated the way the pseudo boots work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you still, like, the bonk animation now looks normal. You bonk, like, the full, like, 2 tiles back, but you still can't cross 2-tile gaps. It's just, yeah, to, like, look normal, I guess.
Okay.
About how it looks raw making and jank.
Okay, so it looks slightly less ROM hacking and jank is what we have been told.
I never thought it looked ROM hacking and jank, but apparently some people
Yeah. Well, also,
I think heading back straight to Eastern now. Maybe. It looks like he said he's taking the South connector. Prove me wrong. We're going to first file case.
with the flute and all the regular access you can, it doesn't actually seem too bad if you necessarily have an impetus to go back to Eastern. Maybe the second small key will just show up? Question mark. I wouldn't hold my breath for it, but if it happens to be, we have real boots! Telethar is a genius. We're gonna get our mirror in GT as soon as he gets to Light World IP Fairy.
Yeah, just need to make it there. Surely, you know, it's right there at the saving quit. Surely at any point you'll check it.
That's right, just like Ice Rock Cave. Surely at any point we can get there with the flute and the boots and everything. 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Nice little high five. We have a changing of the guards for Leaf going in, leaving, excuse me, Desert back, and
Yeah,
that's right. Now, Leaf did have an additional small key, so he has. They have the cape from Tiles from Beamos and Pot key. So that is going to be something potentially that could allow Leaf a little bit more access.
Yeah, at the very least, it will allow them to enter the Test Tower entrance. If they make it there while still on Lighter Sword. Lighter Sword, yes, Sword, so he doesn't need it. But also, yeah, if we find Bumper Cave, that could matter.
That's right. I have first-hand experience where if you want to follow a connector, if you specifically the Bumper Cave connector one way, you will in fact need the cave, which could be a gating factor in this case. But with the book, it looks like Leaf is just going to kind of finish up all the Desert Palace area stuff, which also is very reasonable, especially given that they have a glove as well.
Yeah, Telephone did this earlier, so I don't think there was anything here. Telephone on their way to east this mountain now, through Paradox, so he's gonna get his glove here. And maybe then he'll decide to go to Eastern sooner than later, because now he can just take the portal at 5, and he's right there. And that's
right. Okay. What were you saying, by the way, earlier about don't try to sing this room in the dark with half a heart? Telethar is not going to try this room in the dark with half a heart. He is going to try this room in the dark with 1.5 hearts, excuse me.
Yeah. Like usually they hit by this guy once, going through this room.
Okay, that was a half heart.
Getting like a 3 on 1 heart.
Ooh, that's a green pendant that's lamp locks in the second chest of Castle Tower. Interesting.
Ooh, interesting.
Although we're just knocking our dungeons down one by one pretty quickly. Leaf has found Pod. With 1 key and the bow and the hammer, you can potentially do a good amount of stuff here in Pod. Kind of depends on how they want to spend their 1 key. I can certainly understand they just want to open the front door and then just get stuff in the front. That's also fine. They can just do the bowlock side, use their small key in the back. I think either is probably... do you have a preference, Jem, for what you do here?
So, you can definitely get more items if you just go to the right side and go to the back. But when you do that, you probably skip stuff on basement, because otherwise you would have to go through the bottle set again. And the problem with that is that, like, the only thing we have in... Oh, well, yes, double basement in Logic right now, whereas the back is not in Logic, because you need 3 items, and then for the rest you need 6. So it's like... It feels like the Logic early item is just more important, and at some point you'll probably come back here, we have to swim too. So there's no rush really to go to the back and make plenty skip important progression and make things inconvenient, because right now you don't have Vicky either. Right, when you eventually come back with more keys, you might have the Vicky too to get big steps and harmless our way too.
Oh, that's actually a very good point. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I think that's actually probably reasonable as well. Yeah, as you mentioned, right now, because we don't have any pod keys, more than 1 pod key, for those front stuff, really stuff in Logic. And yeah, having to hammer out maybe or going back there to the back of pod 2 times in a row, or twice is, somewhat less dire, because going to the back of pod also does take quite a bit of time.
Sigma? That's a front
We are on. Yeah, yes, we are on Temperate already, and a small key to Desert Palace. Love to see the small key to Desert Palace.
Yeah. And Taylor's good too, nice. We can't clear that, we don't have hookshot, we don't have the key.
Yeah, just took a quick look at his tracker, and really, yeah, nothing to be able to write home about. We're just gonna be able to do the basement cage and the map chest. Kind of it.
Yeah, he just wants to have a mob somewhere, but no fireballs yet, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And honestly, I mean, we're happy that we don't have to do the basement anymore.
You're happy until your boots are there, but we've already found the boots on Telethar side, which is the Spiral Cave connector. So forget Hera Basement. Nothing important is there today. Although I will say, Telethar was on the winning co-op cross keys team, or that happened earlier this year for 216 when Fear put out his 216 co-op cross keys tournament, and their team name was Nick Hera Basement Cage. So sometimes you gotta visit home, especially during this time of year, right? When it's all about family and togetherness, etc., etc.
Yeah, we love meeting our family in the Hera Basement.
That's right.
Alright, Leaf has finally made their way up the mountain with that food. So they're gonna find all the stuff here, get the Moon Pearl, maybe also make it to the south area, maybe then even to the pyramid, and eventually Eastern. That's a 3 to 5, so... Oh, he's gonna get the race game now, get his potion if he wants to.
Oh yeah. It would be his first bottle, so this is actually pretty nice. And plus, it's a bread potion. I know that some people, potentially including Telethar, subscribe to the potions come with me to the Triforce room mentality. Though maybe at this point he is willing to use it if it's, especially in this case, if it's early. Leaf, yeah, that's right. Leaf has found their Moon Pearl, and so coupled to everything else, they have all the access that Telethar has. Oh no, did Leaf not follow? No, Leaf did. Yeah.
And he follows Sparkface, so they have boots, but they haven't done laser boots yet, I think.
Right, that's where the pearl was. Excuse me. Yeah. That's right. Sparkle was the actual boost. That's right. Okay. Yes. I remember.
Yeah, they just saw and then took. I'm honestly surprised that we are not rushing back to the mirror right away. With those boots.
Oh yeah,
because,
good point.
Up this mountain here, and like you could mirror up to Hera if you had the mirror. But now you don't have the mirror and you will have to climb again.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point because we have the flute to just get us back to flute spot 1 very quickly. We don't have to take any more connectors as you mentioned before. So, I mean, it'll probably just be a very minor time loss in this case. In the grand scheme of things, right? Looks like at least gonna be able to get their Moon Pearl, so that's at least something.
Yeah, the other worry I guess is like if you're a fan of connectors like Leaf apparently is, you might get sent out to the Dark World and it would be beneficial to have the mirror for that too. We could, mirror. And take Mantis is where you get set up.
That's right, I forgot there was also Sword and Laser Bridge as well. The seed is quite generous actually with its items up front. Very commonly speaking, you won't necessarily find a sword. I mean, probably just regular cross keys. Yeah, I don't know, 30, 40, 2 hours. Happens. Yeah.
We should need to go and spend 1 key on the Twilight Speeder. Just to make sure we don't end up in the rocks walking over.
Very understandable, yes. Hey, real boots! We found the library. We can actually bonk this. Another reason maybe to go back to GT. I'm wondering at this point maybe Leaf wants to try and wait out for something else. Hookshot, Samaria. Oh, well, I guess we need a fire source though in order to do anything on the right side, or the climb for that matter.
Yeah. But the boots only could like bonk across the left side. And
that's true. Yeah, we could go a little bit further.
I guess they always had the option to bomb them, but bomb thumbing the entirety of that set is kind of cursed, and I wouldn't really want to do it.
Yeah, especially we kind of saw earlier too when Leaf was bomb jumping. Health is very, very much a factor this early in the game because they were on 2.5 hours when they started and they ended on half a heart when they got the Southwest room. So could be a little bit sketchy. You know, with boots is much more certainly safer, more reliable.
Yeah, there's also the danger, like you bomb across like 3 apps and then you fail 1 bomb jump and then you might at the start of the room you don't have health, you might not have bombs anymore and then you just wasted a ton of time.
That's right.
It's very out-of-order anyway, so yeah, the good excuse not to do it.
Yeah, sometimes the best moves that you can make, I was gonna say, sometimes best moves, we have fairy? Okay, unfortunately.
I'm very
almost had a cheerful fight. okay, I thought he was gonna save it. It was close enough. We have achieved our first Triforce piece. 1 out of 8. Put it on the scoreboard for Telethar. I don't think we got anything either. I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was saying the same. I don't think we found anything super significant here.
Yeah, I remember hearing rupees, pieces of hearts, 10 arrows, and the hook shot, locked super logic chest, which is map chest.
Yep.
Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, here's the thing I was mentioning about getting the mirror. Leaf went through the back of Old Man and then found the net of TR, and like they couldn't mirror because they hadn't gotten it yet, but they know it's on toys, so I'm a bit confused for why not getting it.
Right. Back of Skullwoods now. Yes, it can be certainly a very interesting connector. We found Magic Bat. That's dropped down in the back. Okay. So I don't know if we're ever to come back here. But it exists, so...
Yeah, but at least we're in the dark right now, so...
That's true. Yeah. And this is one of those very nice, convenient movement location, or movement-wise seeds where, yes, I think one of the features of entrance or kind of cross keys or even the cross keys drop is to be able to get to different parts of Dark World via connectors, right? Because you can't really do that with non-entrance. Now, that being said, with the flute, with regular Dark World access, maybe we'll find the mist to make things even easier on us. Just having all the same quick points and flute star points to get to Dark World is those can be significant shortcuts to basically for where you want to go.
The finding blind path. 45 good items here, as usual.
Yes. Surely these will be great items, like 10 arrows for the bow that we just used at Armos.
Yeah.
Okay, Ether, that could be something. We can now go back to Mini Moldrum Cave. I believe that was the S tier version of Queen of Disperse all 4. Good tank heart in the back.
Pretty good. Okay, not very exciting. These kinds of fairy that would have been nice like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. This is one of the things you haven't played enough cross key seeds or cross entrance seeds. If you don't go, I could have had that item 2 minutes ago. At least probably like 4 or 5 times in your siege.
Oh yeah. That's just how entrance works. And honestly, if you have it only 5 times, you're probably lucky.
That's right. This is the nature of how sometimes you make decisions. You think you'll hopefully just make the right one, given how the seed is places items out. We are make our way to 8 key locked random room. Another Turtle Rock small key. Wow, Trinix is really varied these days, huh? By logic.
Yeah, so it's like the one key that turns out missing. He only has 5 small keys.
Yeah.
And the last one is 8 key, not NCC. Oh, okay, I was gonna say B has 2 small keys, but it's actually only B. That's only has 2.
Yeah, somehow we have just missed a bunch of GT small keys, but Leaf has also done a lot. I'm thinking a lot more exploration. But the GT big key that locks. Ooh, big key to Hera. That is a pretty nice find here in GT Big Chest. Because that means that Leaf, when they find Hera, they can actually go complete it.
Yeah, and it'll be convenient too because they haven't been dark shopping more yet, so they won't have to return. Unless their basement is sealed and they haven't found a
fire source yet. Yeah, very, very fair. I wonder what shade of red this is for the ice. It's not quite fruit punch, but it's not quite like cherry.
Watermelon? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, watermelon.
I'm not quite brushed up on my different shades of red.
Maybe I can
tomato soup. Okay. I can really see that.
850 compass.
What was Leaf being so angry about?
I don't know.
Or were they sword slashes of happiness?
Surely.
Grapefruit. Ooh.
I'm sure we do not want to be enemies, Leaf. So I feel lots of happiness.
This is an elimination match, so Leaf could potentially be eliminated, and then it could be like a screw you guys, I'm going home. And Leaf is too nice to do that though. So.
Going back to event for a second. I don't think there was anything else. Oh no, we have a mirror, but I'm stupid.
Yeah. Oh, no, we're good. We're gonna be able to get the prize off of Ether Tablet thanks to that sword that we got in Laser Bridge. Another good incentive. Oh, that's the hook shot! Ooh. So, potentially, that is at least one additional trip into GT, logically speaking, right? We need the mirror. Unless there was another connector up here that we haven't found yet. We need the mirror to get our GT torch, to come back to get a hook shot, to go back to GT to do the rest of the basement. Right.
Yeah. The good news is you can just bonk your way across and bonk them.
Yes, correct. Because the good news is we have tech. We do not have to follow the game's intended logic. To some extent, it's more of just a suggestion sometimes. There are going to be some rules, yes, we do follow. Do not majorly glitch your way through the game. Or there are some guardrails to this thing, but some minor stuff is okay. Sequence breaking is okay. If I see any mirror scrolls or something where Link is out of bounds, though, that's no bueno.
Yeah, we'll report them to the council.
Yes, that's right.
It's not a council. Admin. It's the council. Once again, going to the dark world place of the place where
where the mirror is. Yeah. Sometimes when you have early dark world access, and this happens too in non-entrance and non-keys, when your first priority usually, it's probably also true for cross keys as well, is to go find your dark world access. I mean, you will in entrance potentially find it much sooner than your other required items like pearl, hammer, glove, etc. So you're somewhat limited in things you can do, but now because we had everything so early, just like other types of modes, when you find Dark World access, you really want to go to Dark World and not do more Light World anymore.
We're going.
We're finally gonna get our mirror, and then Telthar's like, "Oh yeah, I could have had this 2 minutes ago." That is powder, by the way, in Spike Cave.
Oh, wonderful.
We might be going back to Magic Bats. We might be going to Magic Bats the first time, at least on Leaf side.
What are you doing?
Wait. Did he not do GT Torch?
He just got hit with it, Quidward. Why?
We have real boots, right? Yes?
Yes, real boots.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, let me just put back on the table quick, I'll be back.
Copium. My copium is running real high right now. That mirror would be pretty nice. I don't remember if there's anything else of note in the rest of GT Basement. There are definitely some trackable items. I think maybe Quake was there.
Yeah.
TR small T.
Yeah. I understand now. He wanted to get the two CT small piece out of the back of the escape first. It makes sense.
Oh, I see.
It all makes sense.
Okay.
He does not realize he isn't supposed to have the spoiler lock as the admin of the tournament.
I see we're trying to kill Frederick the most humane version possible, but using ice rod or ether, excuse me, and not even the right bow. I don't know how to feel about this. We got flippers out of this thing, so maybe it's okay.
Use strong fire rod.
Yeah.
Use strong bomb.
Doesn't have bombs. Okay. You know what? Alright, we've made our venture back with Escape. Maybe tell if I want to come over here with more keys. We can do more stuff. Very glad he's coming back because seeing the mirror on the torch is something extremely important.
Yeah. I still think he doesn't think right about this mirror because it's just so available and
yeah.
And 5 minutes.
Yeah, that is also one of the issues too. You see something in whatever you want to consider, Sphere 1, Sphere 0, basically you had access to at the very beginning of the game. In this case, I don't know, Sphere 1, 0.5 because you need a bomb, question mark. But yeah, when you see something major like that, you're just like, oh man, did my opponent have that 30 minutes ago?
More like 10 minutes ago, I guess. So.
Yeah. It is something that would potentially could be fairly early, especially if your opponent does start at Link's house. We did see a Leaf did that and was able to kind of go to like World Hypecave Ferry on the earlier side because it has closer proximity. And if they ended up finding a bomb in like either price packs from wherever else, right? Drops, maybe a chest right in like the Lake Hylia area. The ferry cave is very accessible. We cannot die now. We have the ferry and silvers that we're just going to spam. Pretty actually nice equipment for telethar coming into GT Ice Armos.
Yeah, definitely gonna be more comfy than bodies, but I mean just having a bow is good enough.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Leaf does not know that it was in fact the second chest. In Castle Tower, there are 4 total items. One on the Archer friend, he is our friend, and one on the Red Guard Circle of Pots dude, who is not our friend. And those checks are usually pretty far. I mean, you think finding Castle Tower 2 or 3 or 4 can be difficult. I mean, it can be pretty challenging, even when Castle Tower is not required to beat.
Yeah, but actually we know, can know that.
It's right. That's right.
What they dropped in Castle Tower.
That's right. Good point. I still don't know about the hits. There's some nuance here between dropped and obtained or something like that. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like that.
Okay, I forgot we had a ferry. We cannot die. I've also seen telethar fight ice animals without a bow on 1 heart and still be okay. Oh my god.
I've also seen them fight ice animals on
I am so scared. Oh, Leaf, that's right. Made their way up to Tarapera with the hookshot with the big key. We found the swamp small, it looks like. I think in Compass chest.
Right, so we got also Slipper and we also I don't think we found the Zam and we haven't found Swamp either.
True. Moldorm is not taking visitors. Moldorm is really not taking visitors, Holby. Leaf got knocked out of the arena twice by trying to dash in, and then Moldorm knocked them off. What a gigantic jerk. Telethar using his game knowledge. I don't think I realized there were 2 heart pots underneath the pots in the sick kid house. Why doesn't sick kid just use those hearts if he's so sick?
He's sick to make it there. Or lazy, depending on
Okay, I fully understand now, because if you told me that breakfast or like a sandwich or something was 5 feet away from my bed, I would also not get up and go get them. I would need to stay in bed for at least 3 more hours before being able to have enough energy to wake up afterwards.
Understandable. I believe also now has on side for free. Corner. They're probably gonna make their way towards the port area for me. So soon gonna be 2. Telethar is behind and cannot catch up. But reality is gonna get a Foxtrot here, and at some point at its convenience gonna make it back to Terra.
Yeah. What Leaf did, by the way, in order to kind of sequence break out like Highlight Island without the flippers, that is really slick. To being able to just kind of use the bonking, I guess the water bonk from the deep water onto the shore. It looks so cool. But actually I think it's somewhat free. Question mark?
It's not that hard, but it definitely isn't like super free that you always get it first by like these kids. So pretty cool. Pretty well done.
Yeah, Dark Lake Hylia is one of those locations where nobody really wants to go to just because it's so dangerous with all the bombers. Being able to fake flipper from the north side or the left side, you have a lot of competition and enemies are kind of going after you, but from the south it's actually not as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. South is fine, but usually you just want to make it onto land as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is so close with all these bombers, you can't really dodge them in the water. If they want you, they get you.
Leaf is finally. This is the first check I think we're getting on top of the pyramid and also Castle Tower entrances to find a connector for brothers. And Leaf with their Tempered Sword now, you'll be able to check out the tower entrance, which is great village. Okay. Good restock on bombs as well. Every single time somebody dashes past the Desert Palace right side door with at least one key, I am so nervous. What if you accidentally spend that key or just kind of breathe on that door? You're just gonna spend the key and that didn't happen. Okay.
Then you find progression there and it's fine. And then you just find your fourth key so you can kill the landlord later. It's okay.
Okay, potentially good connector. We don't have mitts, so this might be our only way over to desert left side. Which is, yes, nothing exciting. 3 bombs on the ledge and then just another shop there. So Leaf is gonna go back. Understandable.
Yep, back into the portal. You might just wanna loot from there, honestly, and go to 2-5. Feels like now you just walk back so far to the connector and then you're only on pyramid. And mirror bomb.
Yeah. The mirror bonking on pyramid seems actually pretty tight. And, like, much more sensitive than maybe I would have actually expected. Sometimes when you either mirror and you kind of look like you're someone into the wall in some place, maybe the game's a little bit more generous and that it won't let you mirror bomb, or it's like, okay, you get a pass, you're close enough. And the pyramid, for some reason, always just seems like you're 1 pixel in, no, you gotta go back. Triforce piece number 2. Same set of dungeons completed. Excuse me, not the same set of dungeons completed. That is Hera done for Telethar and Hera done for Leaf. I don't think I understand what the map check was. I haven't really ever seen too many map checks when we do prize shuffle. So I would probably need somebody a little more knowledgeable to tell me why the other crystals were on the bottom part of the screen. Ooh, we're finding some pretty nice connectors. I have one to Floating Island and Dark Death Mountain. Telethar is finishing up some of the water checks in Light Lake Hylia. Not quite enough money, unfortunately, to pay off at least the expensive fish. Speaking of money, Leaf has found... never mind. Telethar has found his funding to Zora. We can now go and actually go do the checks. I was gonna say, Leaf was pretty fortunate. Oh, but Leaf has also found the King of Samaria on Dark Death Mountain, taking the connector over from Floating Islands. Pichu, Merry Christmas. I always find it kind of interesting to see which chess people open in chess games. It is not unanimously the same. Some people like to open, I think, like the right or the left and the center. Also, we can see what their style preference is. Fixer. It's true, Airy. Some people do like to go fast. Alright, Leaf. Finally back to Castle Tower. Still without a lamp. But it's fine. We don't have the extra Castle Tower keys. Seeing the hint from Saha probably was the strongest motivation in order to come back here. If you didn't know that the green pendant was on this chest and you didn't already try to die getting it the first time, yeah. It looks like Gem is having a little bit of internet issues. I mean, he's not commentating from his normal spot, so just give it maybe a little bit. Hopefully he'll come back soon. Until then, we'll just have fun watching Leaf and Telethar go. We are at the Light World Potion Shop, which has been replaced by the Bomb Shop. I guess I'm not sure if that's considered upgrade or downgrade. If you like potions or explosions more. More maybe could be like a black mage versus white mage type of question. Do you like to blow things up or do you like to heal people? Both can be correct. Maybe I understand suddenly why Gem's internet decided to go kaputs on him, because Telethar is here at the catfish location. And somehow Gem is not here to see this amount of progression, which is the Big Key to Hyrule Castle. You have so many big keys that could be potentially good that we haven't gotten yet. And we end up with the Hyrule Castle Big Key, which... How many Hyrule Castle small keys do we have? 2? Not quite enough, considering Telethar already has spent 1 Hyrule Castle small key to go get his Adologic flippers on the key route. Probably does not see that particular check for quite some time. Now, Leaf, on the other hand, if they so choose, because they haven't gone to the back of escape for the key rat, they've already done the regular back of escape, they can go to Zelda Cell if they so choose. I don't believe the back of Zelda Cell is actually in logic about, I think, all 4, but you can... 3 Hyrule Castle small keys total, I think, is needed to get everything. So kind of still up to them if they want to do this. But it is going to be, what, 6 items back there? Leaf, without the flippers, is going to... drown some bombs, try to restand their Insula, and then very nice to be able to splash the into Waterfall Fairy. This is super funny. They've already gone through it, so not something that they're going to be concerned about. But the added benefit is to be able to weaken Water Walk now, and being able to dash out of there is something that can be much faster than swimming. Even if you tell me that it's the exact same speed, swimming versus dashing is significantly easier to control. You have so much contempt for Zora when you don't even pick up the 20 rupee refund that you can get after spending 500. Like, the 3 seconds or 2 seconds or whatever it is to go pick up the item before saving and quitting isn't even worth the time. But I don't think swimming and dashing are the same speed. I'm just saying, even if you tell me that they're the same speed. Like, if they were hypothetically the same, you still want to dash because swimming is not high on the tier list. You can see Telethar being able to dash in the mimics in the back, or here for the Bullock side. Something that Leaf unfortunately did not have the real boost for at the time. It's a very kind reminder. But now we both have the real boots. We don't have to worry in this case anymore. Ah, yes. Speaking of having the real boots. Or the hookshot! I see telethar has decided to take the alternative approach. The alternate entry into Misery Mire instead of bonk me over with the boots that sometimes I do not have to cooperate with you. And we're going to go into Mire with the Mire big key, 3 small keys. We can actually get quite a bit. There is nothing stopping the Cane of Samaria being here in Mire. I think the 3 small keys, you can do a lot. I believe you should be able to get everything. With the exception of the fire lock side, which is compass chest and big key chest, because we don't have a lamp or fire rod. Unless, of course, it is just somehow magically here. Leaf thinking about what they want to go do. One of the different, newer things about this particular set for the Zabuwa Shuffle is that sometimes you have to, I won't say necessarily unlearn, but just something else to consider is that the front of Skull Woods is not coupled with the back of Skull Woods, like the second section of Skull Woods. We have found Mire might be the right place to be because we found the myths in Mire as well. Big key to pod, big key to ice. A lot of good stuff here in the other green dungeon. And by the way, for those of you who enjoyed the Be My Honey MSU from Final Fantasy, this is the dungeon where the original track came from. It is like the choice. So there's always very strong motivation to actually do, let's say, the cutscene chest. If you ever need motivation in order to go through this room, thank you for going through the I Love This Room progress room as well. Always great to see this. Such exclusive content, only seen in open mode, and when telethar chooses to go do this in XD HUD. Don't worry, we have a fairy. We have 2 fairies. We're unkillable. And yes, more importantly, we also have the lamp, which means we can do the firelock side now. We are going to do Quake to warm up the torches. It's like kindling to make sure the lamps work. The lamp is a little bit slower than the fire rod, as we're kind of seeing telethar push and shove his way through the blocks. Again, I don't know if it's actually intended because you should have the fire rod by now in the original game. So all we have to do is see there is a vanilla cane, not vanilla cane, semi-vanilla cane here in the custom chest. We can go for Bitchkit. This equipment, especially for telethar, who is a very strong Swelly runner as well. This is, I don't know, like pretty overkill for what he in this case needs in order to go beat a boss. Alright, Leaf finishing up their Dark World overworld exploration. Still, I think looking for something more potentially to go do. They do always have the option of going back to Eastern. If they actually did find it, they have the big key, they have the small key, they have the bow, so they are going to be able to get in an item, one piece from Armos, somewhat at their leisure, at their convenience. This is really the nice thing about key drop, not limited to XT Hunt. but I see how the Force does use key drop, is that you get to see basically all of the rooms in Mire that you never ever get to see otherwise. Sorry, unless you play something like Doors, where all the rooms are shuffled, so you really don't know kind of what you're getting into. Yeah, but this is one of the really nice things. And Mire key routing is very, very interesting. Suddenly, when all the pot keys are gone, you have to really think about what you want to do with your keys and how you can actually get around. Like, compass chest and big key chest do require now 2 keys for you to get to. So ultimately, we found a lot of good stuff in, well, especially in this case for Mire, which with the real boots, with the hookshot, Leaf is also able to go in. And with the, where did Leaf get King of Samaria? Oh, right. Sorry, that's right. Leaf got King of Samaria from Dark Death Mountain when they took the hookshot key connector over. So yeah, when Leaf goes into Mire, they're going to be able to get their next piece fully completed. They don't know that the lamp is just sitting in Mire lobby, but they will be able to full clear out the entire dungeon. Versus telethar, if he wants to use Mire as another piece to add to his collection and count towards his total, then he'll have to make a second trip back over. Yeah, the mids are a really nice find though here in Mire. Even though I don't think we had any connectors over to the Mire area, so kind of maybe depending on what's here, mids might actually be required. And then of course, we saw Leaf make a connector over from the castle tower, like north entrance, where like on top of Hyrule Castle over to Desert left. But in this case, telethar just has to mirror in the mid, so that connector isn't very useful. Okay, telethar is gonna bomb open this side of Hookshot Cave. I don't think we've been through it. Maybe we can go back afterwards. We can actually see in this case if the myths might potentially be required. Myths can also unlock other things too. Most notably, of course, there's Smith Chain. Those are like at least the items. There is the entrance to Ice Palace. Those are hard myth lock places. This connector, depending on where it goes, we may not have needed them in order to get to the Mire area. More TT key, Tower Castle small key. Almost. That pesky bomb drop. Oh, Belief is giving us the other tablet chat. It's just 100 rupee on Bumble's tablet. I believe it's the only 100 rupee in the entire item pool. Kind of looking like it's not really, other than the book leading to the hookshot very early when we were up in the mountain on Ether Tablet. I'm not really sure if the book has done much more value. And yes, we did check pedestal. Or that's right. For what is it? If we find all 3 pendants, which I believe we already have 2, we can go pull pedestal for a 3rd Mire small key. I'm not quite sure if it's even worth the time at that point to go and get the 3rd Mire small key if that's your only other option. Maybe we'll stumble upon another one somewhere, but it is there available to you. Alright, nice mirror portal here on top of, well, at least for the pyramid exit. So Telthar's gonna go also kind of dud, retrace some of the leaf steps. Ooh. Okay, we did find Bumper Cave, the other connector. Only needs the hookshot to get through. So at least they're safe for this one. But yeah, one still quote-unquote major question mark item that Leaf has over Telethar is they have the cape from Bemo's pot key, which was the back of Desert, when they came in with 1 additional small key. And I don't think the cape has actually done anything so far. That's extra for Leaf, but that is something that still Leaf has. But just trying to look at the tracker right now. I know the ice rod was in the 2nd section, like the compass, Compass Chest of Skullwoods. We got that for a drop down. But you need like one more thing for basically to help a dungeon finish. We need Key Samaria for Telethar, so you can finish Meyer. TR Big Key would be Trinex plus Fire Rod. Maybe one more pot key to make it slightly more palatable. You can go find the dam, and we need one more small key. One more ice key. In order to go beat ice, we have found ice. We just don't have a way into ice, like bombos or fire rod. The Telethar says, screw it, I'm not gonna wait for the fire rod and go get myself another piece. I have 3 Skullwood small keys, I only need 2. I think I maybe forgot the Leaf had not actually found Eastern. This is quite nice for them. They're not coming in here with anything extra in terms of a small key than what Telethar did, so they're going to be able to get the same amount of, I think, less notable items. We really probably just care about the piece at the end with the boss. And the slight difference is that Lipa has silvers, so the Armos fight will probably go a little bit faster. Oh, and they have the hook shot. Okay, they are saving infinite time in Eastern because we don't have to go through the pesky, tedious rooms above in order to hit the switch to go back down. We're just gonna hook shot over. Okay, but that very nice Macula fight, getting Gold Sword off of the boss. That is piece number 3 for Telethar. I have heard that you're only allowed to check the mana of the bridge check if you are coming from Dark World. So that means you have mirror and flippers, and we have progression in the form of Ice Palace entry. Could also be maybe TR entry or Meyer entry. I forgot to look when I was over there. But that's probably the most notable, is being able to use bombos to get into Ice Palace. With key drop, there is much higher potential to see small key to this dungeon text box pop up more frequently. You see red and regular cross keys. Whenever we're at, let's say, like, Pod is the prime example to some extent, it'll be Turtle Rock. You can always meme guess, right? How many small keys to this dungeon are we going to find? How many hammers to this dungeon are we going to find in Pod? Just like also Ice Palace. And with key drop, because there's so many more small keys available out there. Ice Palace, I think there are 6 total. No, sorry, there are 5 total. So you can very much get a small key to this dungeon in there. There is Swamp Palace, very common. Turtle Rock. Now, Telethar might not want to go to Ice quite yet, just because, again, Samaria would really help. If you don't have 2 small keys to going in, or whatever, two small keys net, then you probably want Samaria for that quote-unquote 3rd small key. Otherwise, we're gonna have to use yet another key. Not to mention, of course, when full clear the dungeon, Samaria's gonna make things a lot faster. So far, nothing here. Let's see what this progression off of Catfish is going to be with our big key to Hyrule Castle that both Leaf and Telethar have when they will visit Catfish. Question mark progression? We already know Pedestal is a small key to Meyer. I don't think Telethar knows that. Since Leaf was the one who checked Pedestal, but I mean, to him, it could be progression. He already has the green pendant from Castle Tower, and then the red pendant from Meyershed very, very early. So that is going to be a potential other option. He has a mirror, he gets the back of Skullwoods, or he can just run the Pedestal, either way. Alright, but yeah, Eastern Palace done for Leaf. That is piece number 2. 6 more to go for them. It looks like actually Higher Castle was not interesting in terms of items. Alright, telethar, for better for worse, going to go chase some of the more mid-slot checks that we got as part of our bounty in Mire. I know that telethar has found pod. We found the big Kita pod in Mire as well. Maybe telethar would like to hold out for another small key. Maybe two, kind of depending on what, I guess how much he wants to kind of delay the dungeon. With all of our equipment, we are able to go beat Helma. Now, that being said, there's a lot of stuff still in the back that we can go get. And of course, there's always the infamous Harmless Hellway or Big Key Chest. Those can be locations that, once isolated, are never visited again. So, and of course, that's where the game loves to put progression. The only places that you don't go to. Telethar eyeing the floating island boomerang that, while he is a boomeranger, I believe he is the... Well, actually, is he the blue boomeranger? I don't remember. He is one of them, but I think he can probably live without this one. Ooh, Leaf, that's right, has found their way into Mire. And this is actually quite... Okay, nice question mark. We can beat the dungeon. With 2 keys, routing can be a bit more precarious, as in, we will... If Leaf has the B-Bobble MSU, Leaf will not complain whatsoever about spending any amount of extra time here in Mire. Now, that being said, I believe they still have an enjoyable MSU, but they might be listening to the extended versions of some of these tracks. Telethar finding the dam in the Turtle Rock main entrance. That is Bombo's hard required, which was found with Hobo. Oh yeah, well, they're gonna find the lamp here in the lobby, so they are gonna be able to clear if they want to. Or was it lobby? It was one of these chests. I don't remember which one it was. Oh, you're right. Okay, right. That's right. Leaf. Okay, right. It was lobby. Leaf. I think is probably one of the few people who still doesn't auto track, just manually tracks. So I looked down. I'm like, I thought it was lobby when I first saw it. They're gonna get their mitts here in map chest. And what else was over here? But yeah, there was some really nice things in Mire. And of course, with the Cadence of Mire, they're gonna be able to. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they can ice as well. Yeah, they're gonna be able to get their next piece. But Telethar are gonna turn into Smith, and then we found the dam. We drained the. We already drained the water. Telethar has 4 small keys to Swamp Palace. I believe he was also the. Well, I don't. He's not the discoverer because I think Gem was the. At least from what I understand, Gem was the first one who somewhat discovered that bomb spooky is possible. Telethar just tried to really perfect it and work on it to make it a more consistent strat. So we could potentially see a left side venture with bomb spooky. Now that being said, sometimes you could save yourself like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, depending on how many tries you do, just by not doing left side. It's all good, Gem. Definitely don't worry about it. Don't stress it out. I mean, it was sometimes internet in different little places can be pretty spotty at times. Yeah, but both Leaf and Teleth are making very good progress into getting their progression. Did I say that how many times have we seen a small key to this dungeon? Swamp Palace being one of them, which is 6 small keys total. We don't have to do Bomb Spooky anymore. We can still do Bomb Spooky, for the record. It probably would just be a lot faster if we just spent the key. And with the lamp, of course. Now, a lot of things were just made extremely more convenient. And also, the lamp does actually put the basement in logic because you're not, again, expected to do any of the dark rooms. But given how much experience telethar and Leaf have played, I do not see any issues with them doing any of these dark rooms. And yeah, Leaf with the blue mail, with silvers, Vitreous doesn't really pose too much of a threat here. The only potential threat that I could see if you come in with silver arrows to Vitreous is you don't have enough arrows and actually go beat the boss. You start shooting, and let's say you start with 6 arrows, you don't notice that you have only 6, and once you keep shooting and no arrows come out, and then Vitreous eyes start to attack you, that's when the meltdown happens. Alright, piece number 3. Very well done for Leaf. Oh yeah, and by the way, telethar also got the big key to Turtle Rock when he turned into Smith, so he's gonna finish up Swamp for piece number 4. He is going to, he has access to Trinix with the ice. So the Turtle Rock big key and the ice rod. I guess with the fire rod in order to go beat something. He can go beat Ice Palace now with Samaria and 3 keys to ice. So telethar only has a lot of stuff to do right now. Leaf would need to go get their flippers, at the very least, from Back of Escape. And the Key Rat, which is the... And while telethar did do, admittedly, a nice job pinpointing the Key Rat down and using, admittedly, the wrong bow in order to go get the flippers off of the Key Rat, Leaf will have the lamp and be able to actually see where the Key Rat's gonna run to. Alright, that 8 key locked GT, 6 key locked Terra small key in the lava chest yielded us 5 rupees. We do not have to worry about that. Alright, we're really gonna put this powder to use? Oh my gosh. Okay, okay, we're good. Oh, and yeah, one also additional kind of note about Turtle Rock small keys for key drop is, especially compared to cross keys, is usually speaking, regardless of where the entrances are in Turtle Rock, you really just need kind of 1 key, maybe 2, if you want to, let's say, full clear and like fully traverse out the dungeon. I mean, you certainly need 1 for Trinix, the door, and then if you have another one somewhere convenient, hey, that's great. Here, you at the Turtle Rock small keys are actually pretty higher rated because, again, if you have to go, you want to open the key door from Chomps to go south, you can get Poku 1, which you don't need to do in regular cross keys. Maybe you actually want to do further on to keep going into the front. There are definitely things that the TR small keys will unlock for you in key drop. So they're not just kind of like you don't have to treat TR small key like a Meyer small key, basically, where like the first one's kind of nice and then everything else is just kind of meh. TR front, by the way, we were never going to access the front way. We were always going to go ahead and exit. And yeah, unfortunately, no roller room for Leaf because the fire rod for many people, go mode, is still MIA. Yeah, but I was finding a nice set of small keys here in Swamp Palace as well. I did see a pod small key, I believe. So that is more incentive for him to go back to pod. Oh hey, Leaf has found their way to the back of Skull Woods. This is a very fortunate connector for them. Post Powder. Powder was in Spike Cave, which Leaf actually went back to the second time to go get, because unfortunately the first time that was attempted, I think they were out of magic or something. Something happened where they were like barely close and then had to unfortunately take an early exit. So we'll see in this case what the Powder has. Because telethar hasn't done Spike Cave, but he has done Magic Bat. Okay, it's a crystal. That might be crystal number 4. So the GT entry potentially is open, but I'll have to see how many crystals we actually have in the inventory. Okay, telethar is making his way to his next dungeon. Very understandably, again, he has a lot of stuff that he actually can go do. Full clear Ice Palace coming in with 4 keys. I have seen people willingly skip the conveyor bari. I call it the bad bari, although it's somewhat of a more negative name. Like there's like the entry bari, right? The first bari, which worth even out of muscle memory, you're just gonna go get because, and of course for this one you have an actual item dropping off of them. But the conveyor bari, unless you're going through the non-icebreaker route, it is very awkward to go get to. So some people just end up skipping it, especially if you don't have enough keys. Telethar with 4 keys is most likely going to go get map chest, I think, here, and then backtrack, go get conveyor and go through the regular way. Maybe spike. Oh, maybe just skip conveyor. Well, we'll see. Okay, looks like he still might go back in for conveyor, but it may not be necessarily like worth his time. I'm just kind of looking at what the items he has left that he needs for go mode, and it doesn't actually look like a lot. Or he'll just go this way. This is definitely new. Okay, we might have been better off not seeing that key ever. It's a small key to Eastern, which lets us get the big key chest. We were certainly not going to get that big key chest the first time that we were there. 8 out of 9 checks to be able to get for Eastern, plus a piece. We're not waiting for that Eastern Palace small key. So if telethar wants to go back in, great. He probably has better things to do. Yeah, but my question, my wondering right now is where the fire rod is. That does seem to be able to lock both logically and I guess like hard lock some things. Like for example, you need the fire rod to go beat Trinix. That is something. We do need the fire rod to beat the back of Skull Woods, even though telethar and I'm sure Leaf is very also capable of doing this with just the lamp. Another Desert Palace small key. We are finally up to 3. We only need the big key. Which, admittedly for this mode, when we're hunting for 8 out of 10 Triforce pieces, every Triforce piece is on a boss, which means we don't have to do 2 dungeons, potentially at least to meet the requisite of 8 pieces. Desert, unfortunately, seems to be one of the more common ones that is somewhat left in the will not do pile. Is because the requirements are somewhat high. You need 3 Desert Palace small keys plus the Desert Palace big key. Which are the other ones? You find what, I don't know, 2 Ice Palace small keys, maybe 3. That's enough for you to go beat the dungeon. Myers, just you kind of need like the big key. This always seems to be a better option. But in Desert's defense, it is probably one of the faster dungeons to go do if you have all of the keys, because you're just literally running to the back. I don't know, that's like a minute maybe in order to get to the boss from Desert Front, maybe a little bit less. Versus nice fire rod. Zelga Woods, Zelga Ice Palace, Rule of Fire. Do we think that is go mode for telethar? We can beat Trinix. Okay, how many pieces do you have? He has 5 pieces. we can beat Trinex, that's 6. We can beat Meyer, that's 7. And we can beat Pod, that's 8. I think that Fire Rod was go mode, the telethar. This is shaping up to be a, I mean, suddenly, yeah, so this guy's also one of those, if you have multiple goals or multiple go mode items, you can kind of go mode can suddenly hit you kind of quickly, and suddenly, like, oh yeah, we don't need anything else anymore. Telethar is forgetting about the back, we don't need it anymore. We have Silver's Gold Sword, I guess Blue Mail. We have the Blue Cane in addition to the Red Cane, and unfortunately the Blue Cane does not work when you want to click block. Leaf also demonstrating. Here in Castle Tower, we have 1 additional key. We're gonna go visit our friend. And the reason why the Archer is our friend versus the Circle of Pots dude is not our friend is, regardless of how you kind of come into this room to kill the enemies and kill the Archer, he always cooperates with you. It doesn't matter what kind of weapon you have, he just kind of stands still and he's kind of there for you. The ball and chain, sorry, the Circle of Pots dude though, not only is he fast and he's using bolt, he will mess up your day. Ask any NMT runner when you come here, and then you just suddenly lose like 15 seconds to your split because he decided to not die to the pot that you just threw at him. Okay, Leaf with their 3 Hydro Castle small keys. This is actually pretty good for Leaf. I believe we can actually just go from the front for everything, and this is good when they go get their flippers off of the key rod. You don't have to always go from the back of Escape, especially if you're Dark Rods. You can probably just spend your last key and just go through that door and go get him. I don't think the front actually had anything that was important other than that pendant, which, I mean, it lets us pull pedestal, but it's actually not important. So. Yeah, but telethar definitely made a lot of very, very good plays. Went to Meyer when he did chose to follow the myths, which I'm not sure if it was just if it was considered to be hard required, but it certainly led to progression. So we could have probably also gotten different sets of progression. For example, I think a lot of GT hasn't been touched, even though we have a good number of small keys, like we can climb with the big key, with the bow, with the fire source. But that certainly could be a lot slower. And with Smith Chain just lets you to your big. And once you go beat Ice Palace, you have the Ice Rod, so it's a much faster way to go get your next piece. Oh yeah, and the other decision that may or may not be a coincidence when telethar decided to rush Hobo for progression against Andy in another cross-key seed that led him to an astoundingly very sure victory. Also had progression today, which is in the form of bombos, hard required in order to get into Ice Palace. Oh, that's right, and it was required to go drain the dam because the dam location was in Turtle Rock main entrance, which that is the only way to get inside with Bombos Medallion. So Bombos, I think, locked 2 dungeons, both for Swamp and Ice. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the bottleneck that probably Leaf is kind of encountering. I can certainly see Leaf as they're climbing GT with 4 keys. They're really definitely get everything up here. And they could find like another Desert Palace small key. It looks like they already found Desert Big. Another Ice Palace key, Thieves Town big key. Just not the flippers or bombos or fire rod that Leaf is probably expecting to get. Nice Castle Tower key. Oh, that's right. That was one of the Castle Tower keys that Leaf had that enabled them to go up and see our friend and not friend. Also somewhat characteristic of an entrance seed is that sometimes you don't have to, I mean, it is considered to be fast cannon, and that you don't have to go beat Aga 2 in order to defeat your in order to go beat Ganon and make him vulnerable. So especially some of the with these Gomu dungeons, even Turtle Rock, when you don't have to go through the Turtle Rock front, the finish times can actually be pretty fast because again you're coming from Laser Bridge. Any of those people who may or may not have experience, let's say taking the safety door, and maybe having an unfortunate mishap on Trinex can attest to how much faster it is to go through the safety door to get back to the boss versus the front. But yeah, basically you can maybe allot, let's say, 2 minutes-ish, 2.5, to a dungeon, including, let's say, like travel time, getting from the front to the end. Yeah. Other dungeons, for example, like Eastern and Thieves Town, they're gonna be a little bit slower, so you get to do a lot more of the dungeon, especially for stuff like Turtle Rock, Desert, even Ice Palace. Going back to the boss, where if you may or may not have experience again taking early exit from Cold Stare, means that you can actually get there. It's only like a couple minutes to get back there. Yeah, and then that is piece number 8, just like that on Telethar's side. This is gonna be assuming nothing else goes wrong, or nothing really goes wrong. I don't think Telethar actually had a lot of things go wrong for him. Maybe just kind of like, you know, it could be a few small things. But like, we're gonna go beat Ganon, which is at Uncle Drop, and then with Silvers and Gold Sword, and 138 maybe. Very, very fast time for XD Hunt. Alright, what is here in Upstairs GT? Also could be a lot more logic stuff that'll kind of help us out. Ice Smell Small Key, Pod Small Key, these are actually still very necessary in order to go beat, let's say, Helmasaur. Small Key 2, Desert Palace, that is very good news for Leaf. Finding that is another piece that they're able to go do. Oh, and the big key to Thieves Town. Alright. I've forgotten what actually was back here in Pyramid. Might be the Skullets drop down. But I think with the last silver arrow in, I do see the Telethar has done a nice 4 arrow kill, as opposed to the sometimes I've seen 5. So really an overachiever, you know, at this point. But I mean, like, really, this is a 1:37 finish time, basically, on Telethar. Big GG's. This, and with this victory, Telethar has advanced on to the next round of the Losers Bracket tournament. And a very, very sure victory. Very well done. The only probably real thing that I think scared me a little bit was very early on, right? Telethar found GT after Boots and he just did left right side. And after Hope Room, he just left. And I was like, oh, is he going back to... Okay, and then he went back to the mirror basically directly after Back to Escape. Other than that, Telethar's decisions have all been very, very, very good. Even following the myths when he was supposed to follow the myths and finding Meyer there was the right decision. And you can actually really see, even Leap does have the option of where to do eventually, right, Thieves Town, they can do Desert right now. They're slower dungeons to go do than the ones that Telethar has. So, but yeah, and really, like, Telethar found, unlocked the bottlenecks for himself. Like, he found Hobo with Bombos, and then that gave him 2 dungeons worth of stuff to go do, which is Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. And then, of course, Ice Palace had the Fire Rod, so that unlocked Turtle Rock for him as well. And then, you know, Smith's turn-in had Turtle Rock Big Key, everything just worked out very, very well for Telethar. So it was very strong routing and obviously very strong execution. Yo, we are joined by today's very, very fast winner, Telethar. GG's.
GG's.
GG's. You finished the seed. I'm not sure if you could have finished much faster, honestly, than how fast you did this.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. Like, as evidenced by the fact that I just kept on doing like I did left side swamp with one item from go mode. I did Ice Berry. I just was like, yeah, probably fine. Everything honestly just worked out.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Leaf is also. We're joined also by Leaf. GG's.
Thank you, Claire Mouse. GG Telethar.
GG.
So I'm missing one of like 3. I'm missing one of 2 items for go mode.
Okay. Your fire
Flippers
rod is
and
on,
fire rod.
Your fire rod's on Cold Stare. Your flippers. Your ice keys are in Swamp. I didn't find the Desert Big. I didn't find the Thieves Big. Those would have also been go mode for me. My go mode ended up being
I just found
Fire
Thieves
Rod.
in Desert recently.
Okay, yeah.
So
I saw you. I was just as I was pulling in. I saw you did the climb. I don't know if that's where
I was late to
where
land for one.
Yeah, yeah.
Where's the flippers?
Where are the flippers?
They were on Frederick. I was so upset when I saw that drop.
Keyrad in Hyrule Castle.
Are you aware of the pain face I'm making right now?
No, but I can imagine.
You've seen my face, fellow. You both have seen my face at STL.
That's right. That's
you
right.
can imagine the pain it's showing.
Yeah.
Your Bobless medallion, by the way, to get into Ice Palace and to unlock the dam at Turok Main is on Hobo. So, like, the flippers really.
So once again, Telethar's in a race on Dante's stream, and so Hobo has every answer in the game.
I mean, if you knew that going in, just rush Hobo, you know.
Yeah, I ended up doing Beat Skull Woods into check Hobo. Like I kind of delayed until I could do both of those together.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of great ways to combine some of the or isolations in the seed, but yeah, hell of a time there, Telethar. GG.
GG's, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Maybe one. Looking forward to you and Gem's next tournament that I get match up against you.
Yeah. Well, next one's going to be a co-op tournament.
I mean, that's not going to stop Clear Mouse's bot from pairing us, anyways.
That's true. That's true. It is also, I think, it's mostly ready actually for what it's worth for co-op. So I'm looking forward to it.
Huge.
I don't know what to expect for co-op mode out of you two. I expect it to be complicated. So.
It's fun,
but
yeah, no, I like I was saying before you got in here, I felt like I kept on sort of finding things in the right order and everything flowed pretty smoothly, so I felt pretty good about the seed. And I was doing, like, when I was go -1, I just full cleared swamp, including left side. I did full cleared ice, including the crappy little berry. I just was like, yeah, you know, like, I've been able to be so efficient that there's not really a good reason to start skipping now.
Okay, I have got to close the. I've got to at least mirror here, or else I'm going to go mad listening to the off-sync spikes in Harmel's Hellway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the only real thing that I was wondering about was, like, okay, when you found GT Telethar, like, just at Hope Room and then you just left, was there a reason that you just wanted Hope Room and then backup escape in the back straight over to GT?
Well, mainly because I had said to myself I'm doing backup escape next, and then I forgot, and then I found GT and I looked and I had 2 keys, and I'm like, I don't want to leave map chest if I don't have to, and like that's annoying. And then I got 2 keys in the back of escape, and I was like, oh lol. But I mean, I was like, I'm just coming right back anyway. It's so close to Link's house that it didn't matter. Like by the time I had started at Link's house the first time, I already said, oops, actually I'm just gonna do this entrance and save and quit. And then I found GT and I did Hope Room and save and quit. So
Okay, that makes sense because yeah, you even went up the boots. You didn't even check torch, and Leaf had gone in earlier and found the torch on the mirror or found the mirror on the torch.
Checks out.
We're like, no, go back.
I mean, forgetting. I understand the reasoning there, Telethar, for the record. It makes a lot of sense.
yeah, I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna save and quit after I check this one entrance. Oh, it's GT. Okay, I'll do Hope Room and then save and quit. It's like I knew I was gonna do left side, but I didn't have hook shot. I had 2 small keys. I was just like, maybe.
It really is unfortunate I found the boost and then found the Moon Pearl before going to Mire, because honestly, having fire would have made some of this a lot easier. But
oh yeah. I mean, nobody really expected the lamp to be in Mire either. Like the whole time, it was like, oh, we can't. I guess we'll go into Mire. We can't really get everything, and then I Telethar got in first, and then so he found the lamp in lobby. I was like, okay, never mind. I guess we can get everything. So.
I mean, I'll admit, I saw the lamp, and my first instinct was, I'm never going left side anyways.
Ah, fair. Was there anything over there?
There was
anything important.
Small keys, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hadn't found the third pendant to put that in logic yet.
Oh, was there a Mire?
There's a Mire Small on pedestal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And 5 Mire Smalls, so. Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure to race you again, Telethar. I do enjoy it. One day I'll actually get closer. We'll get there.
I mean, yeah, this was just like this scene went really well for me. So like,
yeah, I know, because that. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This one was shaping up to be like a 2-hour seed for me. It's amazing after the last 2 I've had.
Yeah,
because you both have seen the results on those 2.
Yeah. No, I mean, it can be mean.
I mean, I'm just glad the hook shot wasn't in the GT clan. I've already had to deal with that in this tournament. But hey, I don't. Merry Christmas! I'm out of tournaments. I'm actually out of all tournaments at the moment.
Yeah, so time to chill.
Don't worry, I'm sure this only could be like a week or 2 from the next tournament that begins. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, technically, I've already signed up for another tournament elsewhere, but.
Okay, well then.
It was not Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, this seed, I mean, was like, yeah, I mean, as Telethar said, like he obviously played very well, but it was also like you have to go to Hobo and you have to go to 2 very specific locations. Where as some of the other seeds were a little bit more open, like you don't have to go to this one place. You can kind of get around it by getting other things. But yeah, this one was like you need the flippers in order to go get bombos, and also you need to do swamp. You know, it's like I said, it's just like it's more.
You need to do Key Rat and you need to do Hobo, neither of which I was doing anytime soon.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I had a small key when I did Back of Escape, because sometimes I wouldn't have checked anyways there because multiple keys in Back of Escape. I could have scummed that key, I guess. But
okay.
Because there are a couple of really useful key scums in this kind of mode.
Yeah, I want to say you didn't. It's my because so you found the glove very earlier than Telethar, and so I think when you were in North Flight World, you just went there immediately. And so I want to say it wasn't early enough for you to have a higher castle small key, but Telethar, by the time he got there, because his glove was delayed, he had one.
Yeah, my glove was pretty late, but also not late.
I mean, it wasn't like late,
really
right? Yeah, you both had regular Dark World access pretty quickly. So, but I'm just saying, like it was just much. It was just just slightly different.
Yeah, no. Yeah, my glove was kind of late, but not late enough that it hurt me. Just late enough that I had the small key by the time it was an option.
Yeah, and the Kira is so isolated, it almost makes sense to do it then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad to do it with Dark Cross if you...
I already did Dark Cross earlier.
Okay.
Because I had I was still on 3 Heart Scream. And I was like, I have a sword and pseudo boots. I can get to Dark Cross.
Yeah, yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, good luck against. I think that your next opponent is the opponent of Raynox and Hitman, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that is correct.
Great.
And I believe they've scheduled for Saturday. So
nice.
Saturday, 7 p.m. That's right. Yeah, recently just put on the schedule, so that's great. Yeah.
Then if I win that, I get to play Worf, and then if I win that, I get to play winner of Shin and TT Chaos. Exciting.
TT Chaos is going a amount of distance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones who put me down here in losers to begin with. Honestly, thank you again. You guys run really good tournaments here with us. The key drop settings are always fun. And hey, it's fun to get to play people in a bracket that sometimes you just don't normally get to play. Like, I have never raced Fred Coughlin until earlier this week. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, thanks for participating. Thanks for being, a good tournament participant as a general statement.
Yeah, really happy that you participated.
I mean, I'm always prompt and friendly and easy to schedule with. So
yeah, no, thank you. It makes our job very easy. Well, granted, Clearmouse already makes our job very easy, but
I was gonna say, I make Clearmouse's job very easy.
I mean, yes. I mean, the bot can only do, it can do all of the work, right? But it can't push people to, to schedule, right? So that's Telethar and Gem's job.
Well, you see, be a good schedule person and just be a good tournament participant. Don't hold up the tournament. The only times I've held up a tournament for you guys is when my opponent got injured in one time. So that's still not my fault. Anyways,
all right, well, thank you for coming.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you, Clearmouse. I believe I saw Gem was on here for a bit earlier too.
Yes, unfortunately,
he left in disgust at our play.
So, actually, okay, Telethar, do you know when actually Gem left? Coincidentally, it was actually right when you were at Dark Potion Shop on the way to Catfish, and that's when he dropped him the call.
Weird.
So I know. It was a very big coincidence, and I didn't actually know if he was sticking to the bid or coming back.
I was very tempted to take a moment and put a text on screen that says "Hi Gem" when I was at Catfish. So, but decided maybe I should play seriously.
No. I was looking forward to some maybe potentially more memes. But there was no Lamos. There was also no Thieves Town with Mirror. So I mean, it happens. next game.
And and thank you to Dante for loading his stream out for us.
Yeah, big thank you to Dante. In fact, he said actually from ever since the last pre-stream, not related to the last pre-stream, which was what, I don't know, 2 days ago, 3 days ago or something. He's actually been sick. Yeah, he's been sick ever since. So the fact that he actually got up and was able to get this thing running, I mean,
big shout out to Dante.
Really, really thank you for him.
So, yeah, good luck in future, Telethar, and thank you everybody.
Yeah, no, thank you again. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, and big GG's Telethar again. Yeah, and I believe Raynox and Hitman are playing, Saturday 7 p.m. So you'll have an opponent relatively soon. Until then, I think there was another thing on the schedule. One sec. What else do we have? We have, Sheffy and Darity are playing tonight at 9 p.m. I believe Blood and T-Stu are playing sometime tonight. It'll be on the schedule soon, not TM. And then Breve and Mike are playing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And Humbug and Trey are playing probably Saturday sometime. They will be rescheduling because Humbug is supposed to do commentary for Bree versus Mike an hour before then. So And then it looks like, yeah, Shin and TT Chaos are scheduled for Monday, 12:30. But yeah, good number of matches, and yeah, hopefully see you guys real soon. Until then, have a good rest of your night. And I believe Dante said that we're gonna go rate Andy, so if you want to stick around, what is he doing? Super Metroid? His type of map rando, yeah. So it'll be a good time. Until all, have a great rest of your evening.